Good morning, everyone. It's Lindsay Host with SPS back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation. That's right. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a great weekend, very relaxing, watching some Elite Eight basketball, some great games, no doubt. I'm getting ready for the Final Four next week. It is what it is. So, what is today's Monday Motivation in reference to watching these teams that didn't make it as far as they wanted to go and just knowing about what it takes to have teamwork and to do more? My question is, are you giving more than you take? Can you give more than you take? That's right. People have the ability in this world of networking and hustling and being about your business, whether it's in your family, your business, the sports you play, whatever it may be. Some way or form, there's a give and take. The question I posed to you to think about, and I had to think about it myself. I'll tell you about that later in the presentation. Is are you giving more than you take? Who we have right here? Got Michelle Mimi Watkins. Good morning, Michelle. Good to have you here. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you had a great weekend. Good to hear from you. I'm talking about giving more than you take. There's a very popular book out. I have not had the chance to read, but when I did research on this topic, it was very prevalent. Give and Take by Adam Grant, and he talks about uh, what this is the author Adam Grant refers to strategic helping in this popular book, Give and Take, Why Helping Others Drives Our Success. I talked about that a few weeks ago, the importance of helping others and giving. But, we all want to be successful. And in this book, he talks about that, but he does a great job in distinguishing these different roles that people play. Those who give first are often positioned for success later. I thought that was really interesting in itself. And also, think of a time when you gave someone advice, mentorship, or a connection without expecting or getting something in return. Now, we know we talk about how altruistic we can be. Oh, just give and look out, and the universe will take care of you. I agree with that. But it was some more interesting information I thought was worth sharing today. It's more satisfying when you think we can do that. But the other thing we have to be careful of is being taken advantage of, because by giving, people always want you to give. You're always giving of yourself, and that can take you off schedule, get you away. Got my brother Aaron Mays in the building, Double Mays in the building, brother. How you doing? All is well. We're talking about giving and taking, brother, about this book that I was able to reference. Thought this was really interesting. Givers are others focused and tend to provide support to others with no strings attached. They ask themselves, how can I add value for a person? Where can I contribute? I like to have that mindset. I like to go about my life trying to help, but I also have to be mindful that by giving so much, you make yourself available that people want, and you do the best you can, but a lot of little gives can lead to a lot. So you got to be mindful of it. Now, the other side, the extreme, whether it's conscious or unconscious. Now, I'm not here to say that you're just a bad person. All you want to do is take. But sometimes we have to be made aware of what we're doing and be conscious of it. Takers are self-focused and put their own interests ahead of the other's needs. They try to gain as much as possible from the interactions while contributing as little as they can in return. I think the young people call that finessing, where they want to be able to get in and do something. Oh, I see the word already. Boundaries are needed so you're not taken advantage of as a giver. You're absolutely right, Michelle. And I think that's something that's difficult to establish, because we get this idea of wanting to give and wanting to share. Coming off church on Sunday, Easter Sunday, that is, you want to say, what can you do and how can you be so Christian like, or whatever religious principles that you follow. But you're right, you got to be careful, because if you don't have any boundaries, you'll spend all your time giving. Look at this great visual right here, Michelle, that really kind of addresses what we're talking about when you talk about people and how they are and what's going on. I got a great person saying good morning. Good morning, mother. How are you? Good to see you today. Aaron comes on, agrees wholeheartedly. Got all my folks rocking with me. So they talk about the three reciprocity traits. The three reciprocity traits. You got takers. You see it's going one way. Matchers, we'll talk about that in a second. They go back and forth, and givers go one way as well. We talk about givers being other focused, takers. But let's talk about these matchers right here. Matchers like to preserve an equal balance of giving and taking. Their mindset is, if you take from me, I'll take from you. If you give to me, I'll give to you. Kind of maintain things that way. That seemed like a good way, Michelle, to have some boundaries or just to manage it. I'm not mad at that. But at the outset, I did say that the givers that give first seem to be so much more successful. Right here, this is a great scale. This wasn't from the book. This was from Lemonade. I think it's a car insurance company, but they had some extensive research about the success scale and how takers and matchers seem to be at the very top of that. But it's an interesting dynamic. I want to share a little bit more about that to keep you guys locked in. Um, These matches that we said, they have this idea: if we give, we can take. But here's a way you can go about addressing that in a way. I got Michelle Mimi Walker saying balance is important. Yeah, you got to remind yourself balance is important. Don't get pulled into someone, whether they have ulterior motives or not, just saying, hey, I need you to give, I need your help. Because you'll find yourself never being able to achieve what you want because you're already putting yourself on hold, making plans for other people. You got to be aware of it. And I like what you said, Michelle, balance. One thing you can do, you can start small. Giving doesn't always have to be a grand gesture. Small acts of kindness can have a big impact. The book did reference something along the lines, I believe, of the 5 minute give. What can I do in 5 minutes to help this person? Is it a contact? Is it a call? Whatever it may be. Now, the interesting thing about this, if you guys have time, I'd love for you to check it out. There's a self-assessment on what type of giver you are, or what are you? You know, what's your strong point? And if you can go to this link that's right here, adamgrant.net, quizzes, give and take quiz. It was really helpful. You can go and self-evaluate. We'll talk about that. Another thing you can do that's a small give, look for opportunities to connect people. Someone said once a month they go through their email contacts and try to connect people who they think may have interest. That's a great way to be out front giving. You can offer mentorship. If somebody is going through something you're not familiar with, you can help them. I have interns for my company, male and female. They have different interests of what they want to do, and I try to support them, whatever it may be. And that's just one small example. You can volunteer your time. I always say you can volunteer your time on what you determine. It's not to be predetermined by someone else. Hey, I need you to come here and do this. I need you to do that. You make the determination of where you want to give and what you want to do. Also, give without expectations in return. They say a long time ago, if you loan somebody some money, might well do without the intent of giving it back. But also saying you want to be able to give with the thought that, hey, let me do something for you so I can move on. Michelle, to your point, that can be a way to set some boundaries because you know you've done some giving that you can say no now because you've done some. And again, the self-evaluate part was really interesting. I told you I took this quiz, and I was a little leery myself to say I do all this talking, and I think that my thinking is about being proactive and giving. Well, come to find out, after I took the quiz, uh, I was able to get some feedback on it, which I think is worth taking. It was a few minutes, and this is the response I got from the kids. As you can see, I scored 53% giver, 20% matcher, and 27% taker. There were some interesting questions on there, but I think that being said is in this time when we want to achieve, you have to ask yourself, and that's another way you can self-evaluate. Are you giving more than you take? You know, you realize in these relationships you have, these people that you know that you can call, do you realize, are you the one that's just calling them all the time? I had somebody I hadn't talked to in years. When I say years, I mean more than a decade, maybe 15, I would dare say 20 years. And the first communication I had with this person, they make a major ask of me. It was kind of disappointing because it's like, wow. Um, Do you feel good that someone can think highly of you, that you can pull that off for them? Or secondly, are you like, man, you know, what about the genuine relationship and just being able to reconnect with somebody without doing that? And some people may consider that their way of hustling and handling business, but I think it's just bad form, and I wouldn't want to be that way. So I have to think about that too. So think to yourself: are you giving more than you take? These people that you call and you reach out to, or your way of networking, are you at times able to say, "Hey, man, is there something I can do for you?" Or this same person who's been helping you out, coming through in a clutch, can you call them sometimes? Say, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, sister, how you doing? Hey, you know, is there anything I can do to help you? I know you help me out so much, and I'm so appreciative. It's not you calling with a guilt complex, but it's saying, you know, I've really been reevaluating what's going on, and I realize that, you know, I appreciate what you did for me, so and so, or you can name something or whatever it may be, but offer to give. Give more than you take. And sometimes we can do it unconsciously. We can do it without being, you know, how should I say, malicious with that intent. But many times it happens, folks, that we are giving so much, but then we're taking so much too. And I just want people to be able to benefit from be able to benefit from giving, being able to benefit from doing more. And like Michelle says, still be able to create some boundaries for yourself to look out going forward. But more importantly, being able to have a positive impact. So it's something to keep in mind. If you can go and check out that quiz, it was just a few minutes. It was worth it, but it'll give you some insight with the very unique questions that are posed and whatnot. With that being said, I'm glad I was able to share something. Maybe it can go on and have a positive impact for you guys today, for this week, as we are in April. Today is April 1st. Watch out for the crazy April Fool jokes. Somebody saying something real crazy and random to you. That is not true. Just stay focused. And I appreciate you guys' support of SPS. It's going to be another great day, another great week. With that, see you guys later. Peace.